So I was in a department store in New York City and I met Alex Shalboff, who is the owner of Mind Games Fragrances, and I proceeded to tell him that I don't like gourmands. And then I proceeded to buy his Gourmand. So now I just lie to people, apparently.
Do not trust her.
Today we're going to be reviewing Kingside by Mind Games. If you're a fan of gourmands, you're going to love this. If you're not a fan of gourmands, I still think you're going to love this fragrance. Stay tuned and I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Alright, welcome back to the channel. This is my 2 cents. My name is Sean. If you haven't been here before, welcome. And if you have, welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing a fragrance from a house called Mind Games. I became familiar with this house earlier this year when I went out to San Francisco and I explored their fragrances at ZGO Perfumery. I ended up coming home with a fragrance called Gambit. If you know Gambit, let me know what your thoughts are on it. But today we're not going to be reviewing that one. We're going to be reviewing one of the newer fragrances called Kingside. Mind Games is a niche perfume house that is owned by Alex Shalboff, and he uses a different perfumer for each one of his fragrances, sort of in the way that Frederick Malle does or the way that Victor Wong at Zoologist does. Mind Games, the concept here is that each one of these is named after a chess item or a chess term. There's Kingside, there is checkmate, there's castling, there's double attack. I don't think there's rook. That may be a marketing opportunity for you, Alex. Kingside is a fragrance that was created by a man named David Appel, who's done work for Bond No. 9. He's done Comme des Garçons fragrances. The vibe we're going for here is a luxury niche perfume fragrance strategy with sort of a twist. When you go to buy a Mind Games fragrance, you'll see in the stores that it's usually set up on a chessboard. There's a whole line of white fragrances and there's a whole line of black fragrances, so you have both sides to the chess game on the same board. I don't usually talk about the packaging of these fragrances, but I think I need to talk about the one specifically for Kingside. Usually the Mind Games fragrances are in packages that I would say are about half this size. This one is given a double fragrance package. There is a slipcase over the outside, and then wait till you see this. Inside the package, as you can see, the fragrance would sit right here in the middle. There's a little bit of information about the fragrance and about the perfumer, David Appel. And then you also get 2 of the essential oils for 2 of the ingredients that are in this fragrance. One of those is going to be tonka bean and the other one is Peru balsam. And also, after a conversation with Alex, he told me that he includes the testers here as well so that you can dip them into the essential oils and smell them individually as well as all together in the fragrance. The packaging here for each fragrance is gorgeous. Each one of them has a lacquered cap that looks like a chess piece and a magnetic closure, so it looks like you actually spent $350 on the fragrances. I think that's what they go for in the stores. Kingside was a little bit more expensive because of the packaging. It was over $500. So as I said, I just happened to be at a department store here in New York and they were setting up for an event for Mind Games. We got asked if we wanted to go over to the event and partake in it. We said sure. They were featuring 2 of their new fragrances. One is this one, Kingside, and the other one is the white version of this, which is Queenside. I'll show you a picture of it here. So before we went to the event, we were in the store smelling the Mind Games fragrances, and when they asked us what type of fragrances we like, we said, stay away from the Gourmand fragrances. So they didn't feature Kingside there, and that was the right decision because we definitely told them we didn't like gourmands. Then they invited us over to the event, which was taking place about 10 minutes after we started smelling the Mind Games fragrance. And they had all of the raw materials laid out there when we got there. It would look like the ingredients of a tasting menu at a Michelin star restaurant. And like I said, I approached the Kingside side of the event thinking, I'm not gonna like this. This is a gourmand. But as I sat there smelling each part or each ingredient like I was judging a Top Chef show, I was kind of converted.
They were delicious. They were definitely one of my favorites.
So let's talk about the notes in Kingside. From Fragrantica, they had the notes listed out as follows. In the top, you've got pistachio, cardamom, grapefruit. In the heart, you've got hazelnut flower, rum, peony. And in the base, you've got almond milk, Peru balsam, and tonka bean. So let's see what this smells like. Oh, it's so good. 3 different things happening in the beginning. So at the top, you've got a lot going on. You've got pistachio, which comes off as very creamy, almost nutty. Then you've got a blast of fruit from the grapefruit, and you also have a spiciness coming from the cardamom. As it continues to dry down, the almond milk, which is in the base notes, comes out more prominently. And I think for me, the 2 notes that I get the most from this, and probably during the duration of the fragrance, not just at the beginning, are the pistachio and the almond milk. I don't want to give off the impression that you are going to smell like a dessert and that it's going to smell cheap like one of those cheap dessert fragrances. That's not the case here at all with this. It smells almost like dessert took a trip in first class. There's something expensive smelling about this, and it's just very addictive. If you're in the store and you end up spraying this on your hand like I just did, you'll find yourself smelling it the rest of the night. You'll keep coming back to it. I think this is a fragrance that would work all year round. I think that there's sort of a lightness to it with the grapefruit and sort of the nutty notes that are chosen that work well in warmer temperatures such as spring and summer. And there's also a coziness to this that would help it work through fall and winter as well. So I would wear this all year round. I would wear it to dates. I would wear it to the office. This is not an offensive fragrance. This is not a fragrance that is going to announce you when you walk in the room. That said, it is definitely a strong fragrance. The projection here is definitely moderate. I think it's noticeable, but it's never going to be overpowering. There's nothing offensive here that's going to make people shy away. People are going to be drawn into you. You're going to smell sweet to a certain degree, but not over the top sweet. I think that's what I like the least about Gourmand fragrances. Most of them tend to be a little bit too sweet. You smell too much like food. Maybe it's the Peru balsam in this that takes it away just enough from smelling too much like a dessert. And this fragrance is going to last on you. This is going to last for about 7 to 8 hours. You're still going to be able to smell it on you. The sillage, those people around you, it's sort of an elegant, classy sillage. It's not something that's going to be filling up the entire room, but the people around you are definitely going to smell you. Going to an event like this can actually really help you. As if I were to just go up to the counter for Mind Games fragrances and I said, I don't like Gourmand fragrances, they would have never recommended this, which is exactly what they did in the store that we were in the day that I bought it. But seeing the fragrance all laid out with all of the individual ingredients and see how it works together really actually helped. I ended up walking out with something that I otherwise would never have purchased. And I was actually able to get it autographed by Alex Shalboff at the event. Thank you, Alex. So Kingside, is it worth putting on your skin or should it stay on the chessboard? Here are my 2 cents. Yes, I would totally recommend buying Kingside. If you like Gourmands, this is definitely a fragrance for you. If you don't like Gourmands, I would say definitely give it a try. You can go online, go to any one of these online perfume sellers and find a decant of this and try it out before you commit to the large bottle. This for me is a Gourmand that doesn't lean into sweet smelling saccharine vibes. It still keeps it polished. It's grown up. The ingredient transparency at the event helped show the craftsmanship of it. It's sort of rich and cozy smelling. It doesn't smell like anything that you would smell walking through a theme park. There's another fragrance that I do have called Whiff of Waffle Cone by Imaginary Authors. You can see it's back there. That gives me more theme park vibes, but I think that's what that one's going for. I'll do a review on that at another time. This isn't a loud Gourmand in the least. The projection, as I said, is strong. People are definitely going to smell you, but the ingredients here were selected very intelligently. They chose the right ingredients, which pairs down the sweetness of it just enough so that it's not over the top. Yeah, this is definitely a fragrance that allows you to smell gourmand-esque while still smelling expensive and not smelling cheap. So if you're looking for a refined gourmand that doesn't smell cheap and doesn't smell artificial, then Kingside by Mind Games is probably your next play. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been My 2 Cents. My name is Sean. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me. If you like this fragrance or you know it or you're familiar with the brand, please leave me a comment. Let me know which ones are your favorites. As I said, I only have 2. I really liked another one called Mentor. It's sort of an oud fragrance. They didn't have it in stock. I wasn't going to get 2 fragrances at $500 or $500 and $300. This one was $500. But I wasn't going to get 2 fragrances that day, but there definitely are other ones that I would like to try. So which ones are your favorites? Leave me a comment. And if you liked this video or you like Kingside at all, just leave me a thumbs up. That would mean a lot. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next episode.